Hello, everyone. Thank you for your continued support. For those of you who have been reaching out and connecting me with other journalists and filmmakers and media outlets, they have been shown genuine interest in my story. Your efforts are really helping me bring this case to the attention of the authorities, both in the US and Denmark. Today, I continue to speak out to expose the violence and the abuse I endure from the father of my daughter, who remains with sole custody of her and is keeping her in isolation. It has now been more than 30 days since I have any information about my daughter's well being, and I continue to be deeply concerned about her. Many of you watching may be confused of how this can happen, and this is why I'm sharing the evidence to reveal the double standards, the gender-based discrimination, and the systematic failures that continue to harm children in cases involving partner violence.
That is called sexual assault.
Yeah, okay. Call the police. Like I'm done with you.
Where do you think I am with you?
I'm
You're just lying to me all the time.
I got lying. Stop. Again, night after night after night. I'm tired of it.
When I tried to come to talk to you, Christian, many times, you either try to make me feel like what I'm saying is wrong, it's not valid.
And now you're saying that I abuse you again, like, and I'm tired of having all these, like...
Because it happened. And you never admitted that.
Sexually abusing you.
You never admitted that.
Do you mean that I sexually abuse you?
How would you define putting your fingers inside someone when they're sleeping? How do you define
Now
that?
I'm again. Please just shut up. I'm tired of talking.
But just
Stop.
answer me.
Stop.
Just answer me that question.
I'm saying
If I was
I
awake,
was touching my girlfriend while I was sleeping. I got horny because she was right next to me. I'm really sorry about that.
and I was sleeping too, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I was sleeping. I don't know, Milo.
And when
That's the
okay.
that's the whole point of this story, right?
No, it's not the whole point. Because when I actually came and talked to you and told you, hey, that was not right. I didn't feel good about it. It was aggressive.
Sexual abuse, why didn't you run away a long time ago? Then run as fast as you can, because I'll maybe do it again. So please stop fucking, like, claiming sexual abuse when you never did anything more crazy, like.
It's not crazy.
And then run away, Milo. If you feel so fucking
I don't
abused,
have to run away.
then run. Run as fast as you can.
I don't have to
most
run away.
women would do that if it's sexual respect. I don't feel you that respect.
Because you disrespect me.
What is that to do with Isla and my needs? Like, that's your fucking ego doing it like this.
It's not my ego.
It is.
It's
I want to be safety for who?
For
Like,
me and her.
fuck you. Like, then run away. Then run really
Why
fast.
do I have
right
to
now.
run away? Why?
For your
It's not
safety.
raising the voice
For
now.
your safety, goddammit, you crazy bitch. For your safety. For her safety.
It's her safety.
Fuck you.
Because it's an environment. It's not good. It's not safe.
It is safe.
It's not safe when we argue the way we argue, when we're treating each other the way we're treating, when you're talking to me that way. It's not safe.
In the images presented here, you will see the evidence that I've submitted to the familiar who's also in the US court of his consumption of cannabis, planting many marijuana plants, which are illegal in Denmark. Also, he's stashed, as they say, all the seeds, all the jars that you will see. This is inside his kitchen with weights and other materials that shows that not only he consumes this, but it's manufactured. Here's our evidence of the decapitated animals I found behind his house. And as you can see, these are not from hunting. Here's the evidence of my child being diagnosed with autism. And the doctor specifically says of the diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder that she meets the definition of disability under the American with Disabilities Act. And they believe that it was best for Isla to remain at home with me, and that being separated will likely result in a step back in progress that she have made so far. Here's the letter that I received from the Danish family agency, where I requested for the shared custody to be terminated and for me to have temporary custody of my daughter while we were in the United States because of all the domestic violence. I also explained to the familiar house the reasons why I was in the United States, why I have left. I submitted all this evidence of the violence, the abuse, the PTSD, the drug consumption, the alcohol consumption. And although all the only thing they were able to provide was for me to stay at a shelter and bring my daughter back to live in a shelter, which I did not find safe, to be inside a shelter where he knew where I would be. Here I'm also emphasizing that I have placed a restraining order and that I cannot leave the country until the case is completed according to the US rules. Yet the family agency did not care about that, um, even though I have disclosed risk factors such as evidence of violence, the serious risks, concerns of mental illness from the father, and how all this will put our child in danger if we return to Denmark. So I'm highlighting this information so you guys can have a better understanding of how these systematic failures are processed and how incredible and comprehensive it is to deal with a country where you will think they're educated and they're wealthy enough to have this kind of background information on how to assess a risk, um, endangered. And here I mention all the evidence that I've submitted: the diagnosis with the PTSD, the diagnosis of the alcohol abuse, the domestic violence. And here is the latest court ruling regarding the custody of our daughter after I returned to Denmark under the Hague Convention with a protection order. Here are the three names of the judges that took care of my case. Surprisingly, two of them were women who acted against me. One of them was a male judge, or actually, he was a deputy. Um, and here you will see the explanations of why I left Denmark and why I'm still in Denmark and how I can remain in Denmark with my resident permit and my job, the reasons why I took my child out of the country, and the great concerns that I still have with her having autism and being under the care of the father. Um, I want to highlight this because it's extremely important. Here is the statement from the father. He is physically well. He needs almost nothing of his PTSD. He feels nothing almost from PTSD, but he gets triggered with loud noises that can cause some symptoms. They don't specify one symptoms, given that his symptoms are extremely dangerous, and that he occasionally has trouble sleeping. I bring in this because when you are taking care of a toddler and a newborn, those are the things that will constantly be around you: loud noises from crying, from playing with toys, from them moving things, and then obviously disrupting your sleep. So these are the two main things that caused him triggering, and yet they gave him sole custody of my child. They're saying that he has not committed any violence or other abuse against me and our daughter. And part of the reason why they are giving him sole custody is because he did not have contact with the father the whole time I was back in the United States, and I didn't have any reasonable cause for me to leave Denmark to the United States. And this is why I'm sharing all this evidence with all of you today because this needs to be exposed. I don't know what evidence are reasonable to show sexual assault and physical violence, including my medical report. On my medical report, you can see specifically the day, which is December 2022. That is about 6 months before I decide to go back to the United States. So here I'm taking all the steps as required by the police, which says a woman comes into the emergency room after being asked to come by the police. She has been assaulted by her boyfriend in their home. She has been laying on the side of the couch with her 1-year-old child um, held around her. After an argument, the boyfriend decided to kick her, knee first on the right hip. Um, it is described that he threw himself on top of her and the child, and this happened in their home around 10 a.m. So as you can see, all this evidence is from all the steps that I have taken following the Danish law, which is to go to the police and get a report, go to the hospital and get a report. I even went a step further and I continued to speak with my primary doctor. I went a step further and I reported the abuse at the veteran center where the father and I were going to learn more about PTSD and what it's like to live with someone who had PTSD. The statement from the Veteran Center is a report we received that was also submitted to the court in the US and also in Denmark. It's only from last year, and here is the exhibit, and here you can read specifically all the concerns that the Veteran Center had regarding the father of my child. So here it says that he had experienced several serious incidents during his deployment, which are primarily triggered by his symptoms. He has been diagnosed with PTSD and ADHD by a specialist in other contexts, and at the time of the last individual consultation, symptoms such as increased aggression, memory problems, concentration difficulties, fatigue, avoidance, and depressive symptoms were described. In addition, he has issues with affect regulation, negative self-image, which is also like self-esteem, and interpersonal problems. He has also problems calming himself. He's easily provoked. He is easily provoked. Physical symptoms observed at the time of consultations include tension in his shoulders, neck, and back. So he also has physical tension, which is also very triggering. At the time of the consultation, he described the use of cannabis, which is also known as marijuana. During the sessions, challenge with Christian's empathy and understandings were observed, which means that he lacks empathy, which makes it difficult to relate to other people and create connections. Had difficult with mentalization in relationship to the thoughts and feelings of Melissa, and he attempts from the therapy side to facilitate empathy has limited effects. It's described that the client still has PTSD symptoms and treatment was terminated by him because he wanted a break. And still today he's not in treatment. And all these symptoms are extremely, extremely concerning when giving custody of a 3-year-old child with autism. At the US Embassy, they reported all the calls that I've made where I didn't feel safe and where I was seeking for help to protect myself and my daughter. And here you can see pictures of the bruises, communication with the court as well. And all these evidence have been sent to the court. The nails incrustated in my skin, how he dislocated my fingers. Can you imagine what it's like to take care of a child with a broken finger?
So, mira, lo que hice fue que me puse el tape así de esta forma. Todavía está morado, pero ya no está tan, como que tan morado.
This is part of the evidence and the bruises found in my body, and the text messages that I also sent to the father asking him to please stay away. But the abuse kept escalating, and this was not good for my child. This is a picture of how he looks today, and I'm concerned. I am so concerned that there's just so much humanly that I can possibly do to protect my child. And of course, I am in constant communication with my congressman. I'm in constant communication with the U.S. Embassy. I have secured a lawyer, but everything is just moving at such a low pace. And I can't stress, I can't stress how deeply concerned I am for my child. Why is this person that has not completed therapy, that is not in therapy, that is definitely a risk, um, cannot take care of himself, can possibly take care of a child that is 3 years old and have autism. I know this is a very long video and it's very distressing. My intention again is not to trigger anyone with this information, but to seek help, because there's only so much that I can do. And as a mom, I want to do everything, and I'm going to do everything to protect my child, but I cannot do it alone. I cannot do it alone. I cannot fight with the whole institution. I cannot fight with the whole country, which is Denmark, because I don't even want to fight with Denmark. I just want Denmark to understand that they're putting a child at risk, and it's my child, and she's my responsibility. And I brought her to this world to love her and protect her, and that I'm a fit parent capable of doing that. So thank you all for watching again and for staying with me in this battle. Thank you.